Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. We are doing a DIY Christmas craft and we are doing a reusable Christmas gift bag, and we're going to use tie-dye and we're going to use one of my personal favorites, puffy paint. So stick around. Alright you guys, so I am ready to get started and I hope you are too. So what I have here is this super thin canvas tote bag. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you what I've got here. I got the canvas tote bag like I just said. I have gloves, I have rubber bands, I have some tie-dye, and this is my own little thing I like to use. It's a shoe tray with a baking rack, so I can dye at the table comfortably and not worry about messing up my table. But before we even use that, we want to put our gloves on. This canvas tote bag has been soaked in soda ash for about 20 minutes, and then I spun it out in the washer to get the excess water out of it. You want it damp but not soaking wet, and you really don't want it dried out either. If it's damp, the bag will absorb the dye better and it'll look better. So these rubber bands, they have a bunch of different sizes. I'm just going to use the smallest ones because I'm going to wrap mine pretty tight. Now what we're doing today is the best part. We are going to make a snowman on this tote bag, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to do a simple bullseye pattern, and then afterwards we're going to add all the details with the puffy paint. So I'm super excited to see how this is going to look. So you want to kind of try to get out any wrinkles. If you have wrinkles, it's really not that big of a deal, but obviously if you have it scrunched up like that, it's not going to look right. So lay it out flat, and then we're going to do a bullseye. So if you haven't done a bullseye, you take the middle and pinch it, and then use this hand and pull it up through. So what we want to do is the very center is going to be the snowman's face. So we want to tie that off with a rubber band. And it doesn't have to be, you can do a little snowman or you can do a big snowman. If you do a big snowman, you just want to look out for where the top of the bag is and the bottom of the bag, so you're not making the snowman's head bigger than the whole bag. So I'm just going to kind of do like right in the center and get a pretty good sized snowman head. So you're just going to want to get your rubber band on there, tie it, and tighten it enough where the rubber band's not going to break and hit you in the face, but you want it tight so that it can restrict the bleeding of whatever other colors you're going to use. It's not going to prevent it, but I'm going to show you how to not do that, I guess I could say. So this is going to be our snowman face right here. It's going to be a circle when we open it up. And then the rest of it, we're going to do different colors. So we're going to take more rubber bands and go on here. So I'm going to tie this one. And then go from this end here. Alright, one more. Okay, so that is our bullseye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this white, and then we're going to go with red, leave this white, and then go with green. And then I might add a little bit of green and red out here, but you don't want those two colors to mix. It will make brown and it will look really weird. So now that we have this tied up, we're gonna use our shoe tray and our baking rack and our dye, obviously. All right, so we have our bullseye tied canvas tote bag, which, by the way, you can use this bag for whatever you want. You can use it for shopping, you can use it for a purse. I mean, I do that sometimes. But I thought it'd be a cool idea to use it as a gift bag for a Christmas gift for somebody. So that's what I want to do this year. I want to try to make a bunch of different ones of these and use that as the gift bag instead of going and buy a cheap paper one. So we're gonna dye this. So I'm gonna start with the red, and I'm going to do this red. So very carefully. It might take a little bit to soak right in, but don't be too afraid to grab onto it, because no matter what, tie-dye is pretty messy, but it's so much fun. Might have to poke it a little bit. Let the dye get in there. Now the shoe tray is so nice because you can sit down, you're not standing on your feet after a long day of work or a long day of doing anything. While you dye this, you can sit right at the table in tie-dye, which tie-dyeing makes me happy. So I like the fact that I can sit here and do that. And you can see it's catching my drippings here. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. So it's very nice. It's my little technique I picked up. You can see I got some red bleeding right here, but that actually will look really cool. So I'm gonna do a little bit more. Got the red all the way around. Now I'm gonna go with green. We're gonna leave this part white because it's, like I said, the red's gonna kind of bleed into each side there. So we don't want the green and red to mix because that will make brown and it would look really weird. All right, we got our pretty Christmas colors on there. Like I said before, if you remember, I'm gonna add just a little bit of some red and green into these handles here. I have no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to add a touch. I want it to look very Christmassy. And it does not have to look perfect, but it will look the way that I want it to. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we are gonna put this in a bag, and then I am only gonna let this sit for 24 hours. Now, if it was any thicker than what it is, I would let it sit for 48 hours, just because the longer that you can let the dye sit on your garment for, the brighter the colors are, but because this is so thin, 24 hours is more than enough. So bag it, leave it for 24 hours, and then you can rinse and wash. So I will see you when we're ready for that step. All right, you guys, so we let this Snowman gift bag sit for 24 hours, and now we can do our reveal. So I'm super excited. I hope you're excited. You're not gonna be as excited until you see the finished product after we put the puffy paint on it, but it's tie-dye, so it's super awesome, and it's gonna look super cool. And what a unique gift bag. Nobody's gonna find this anywhere because it's something that you made. All right, so here's our reveal. So there's our tie-dye gift bag. Get it straightened out here. So this is gonna be the snowman's face. It turned out really well. It's what I wanted it to look like. And then you see the straps have red and green in them. So now what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna put it in the wash on hot, and I always use the extra rinse if you have that on your washing machine. You can use regular detergent. I actually use a textile detergent called Synthrapol for my tie-dyes. It just keeps colors in there better, and it also, if you do wash this with something on accident, it won't mix with your other clothes. But if you do not have Synthrapol, don't wash this with anything else because it will get on everything else in your washing machine. So wash it with regular detergent on hot, extra rinse if you can, and then afterwards I let mine hang dry. So you can either let it hang dry or put it in the dryer. Just know that if you put it in the dryer, don't use fabric softener, and it's probably going to be a lot more wrinkly than if you just hang dry it. So next we're going to do the puffy paint after it hang dries, and then that'll have to dry, and then it will be finished. Alright, you guys, so we have our reusable Christmas gift bag. It's all dry, and now we're going to do our puffy paint. And I have my bag, I have a piece of cardboard. What we're gonna do with this is we're gonna actually put it in the bag so that the puffy paint's not gonna go through the bag and stick to the other side. You don't want that, obviously. Just because if you do that and it sticks to the other side, you're gonna go to open your bag and it's gonna get stuck, and it's not permanent like that, but you are gonna have a little issue with it. So with that cardboard in there, it just prevents anything from going to the inside. Now I have my puffy paint, and if you're not familiar with puffy paint, it is 3D fabric paint. I have black, white, and orange. Orange for the carrot, black for the eyes. I'm going to use white in the eyes, I'm going to use black in the carrot, so I'm going to use all three of these. So the first thing I'm going to do is his eyes, and I'm going to do them kind of simple, but what you want to do is I have a paper towel here, and I'm going to do a little test squeeze so I don't ruin my bag. Make sure I can, there we go, see the little test squeeze. Make sure it's not going to just glop right out onto your bag, because that would be terrible. So we are going to do his eyes, and I'm going to try to make him look like he's kind of looking that way. So I'm going to put one eye here, and you can go really thick with this if you want. But I'm going to do just a circle, and then I'm going to fill that in with more puffy paint. If you go thick, it's extra 3D, so it looks super cool. You can go thin too if you want, but I think it actually looks cooler if you go thick. And then a little bit of space Let me make sure I'm lined up here. And do another circle. Fill that in. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna add a little black to the side. Not a lot, but alright. Then I like to clean my tips off before I put the cap on them, but I'm not going to put the cap on it because I'm going to use it again. But before we even move on to the carrot, I have my white. And I am going to use the white for the pupil. So we are going to make him look that way, like I said. So sorry about that, we need to do the test drip first. Alright, so I'm going to make him look over here. I am slowly squeezing because if you squeeze too hard, it's just going to glop right out. Alright. You don't want to put the tip in your black because then it'll mix like that. So I'm going to just drop a teeny tiny bit on top of that. And then if your black is thick enough, that white is gonna kind of sink down into it as it dries. So it won't look as puffed up. All right, now we got our orange. If you bought the kit of puffy paint, which I did, it comes with 16 different colors. There is a neon orange and a regular orange. I have the regular orange. Feel free to do whatever you want because it'll look like a snowman regardless, but I'm going a little more traditional. So I am gonna squeeze lightly. And that is the start of my carrot. And I'm not going to use straight lines because carrots aren't perfect. So I got it coming all the way out, and I'm going to come all the way in while squeezing. And so now, actually I'm going to come in just a little bit more. Alright, and then remember to wipe off your tips. Now before you even let your snowman's nose dry, take your black and do your drip test. Try to do really skinny lines right on top. Now I'm going to go through and kind of touch up anything that I think needs a little bit of work, which I do want to make my eyes a little bit bigger because I want him to look bold. So I'm just going to go around, make my eye bigger. Awesome, that looks a lot better. I like his eyes. And then for good measure, we might as well give him a smile because he is a happy snowman. So I'll start here, do a drip. I'm kind of bouncing my puffy paint bottle up and down while I'm squeezing, just to kind of give it a dollop kind of look to it. Alright, you guys, so our puffy paint is complete on this side. Now you can leave this one-sided if you want, but there is a blank side on the back, so you can do another snowman face. And if you do another snowman face, just to keep it interesting, I recommend changing it up a little. So if you want to do a different face or a different way that you do the eyes, or maybe on the other side you want to add a hat or something like that, that would look super cool because then it would have like a reversible side effect to it. So either side that you hold it, it's going to look awesome and everybody's going to look at you and be like, ooh, I'm jealous. Look at that awesome Christmas bag. I need one of those. So the puffy paint needs to sit and dry, so it's going to sit overnight, and then in the morning you can just check it, and by check it I mean lightly tap your finger on it, and if it doesn't move, even if it feels dry, if it doesn't move or feel like it's jiggling underneath, then it's dry, and then you're safe to touch it a little with a little more force and see if it's really dry. If it's really, really dry, we can flip it over and do the other side. All right, you guys, so we have our finished product and he looks awesome. So this is my DIY Christmas craft, and he is the reusable Christmas gift bag, and I love him. He is so cute. So I can't wait to use him. I can't wait to give him to somebody because they're gonna love it. Also, if you like my shirt, I just previously did a video for my tie-dye Christmas tree shirt, and that will be posted very soon. If you guys would like to learn how to create beautiful art with tie-dye, paintings, and all things DIY, hit that subscribe button, and then after you do that, hit the notification bell, and then you'll never miss a video. See you next time.